Hello, and welcome back to Silent Film Fridays, where the films are silent, but the hosts are not. I'm your host, Alex, and as per usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Tiffany Knoll. I'm sorry,
I am
what?
a
You cut out
professor.
there.
Yeah, so did you. Hi, Fiendy. Oh, it's so good to see you, friend. And as I was just about to say, I am a cultural historian and professor with the Popular Culture Department at Bowling Green State University. But I think you tend to call me something a little different, Alex.
Yeah, I typically just call you Mom.
That works.
Yeah.
All right. So, just
Yes.
gonna check in. How you doing, Alex? How you been?
Oh, I've been alright. Just, been here and there. How about you?
Well, I'm much better now that I don't have COVID. That's why we didn't run last week.
Yeah, that definitely does help.
I mean, fortunately, my experience with it was brief.
Mm-hmm.
But given that I'm pretty sure I contracted it while I was at various living history sites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a little bit more first-person interpretation than I really wanted. You know, visiting the past and ending up with some kind of disease. That's great. Thanks. Anyway, so for tonight, we are going to be spending a little bit of time with Rudolph Valentino. Mm-hmm. Although we're going to be spending a little bit of time with him before he was a star.
Yeah, before he was America's sweetheart.
Precisely. And boy, howdy, was he America's sweetheart. You think it was Mary Pickford?
This man.
Do I have news for you? So, in addition to one of his early films, which is Stolen Moments from 1920, we're also going to be watching one of the films for which he is best known, The Sheik from 1921. So let's go ahead and get started with Stolen Moments.
I almost just hit the wrong button and ended the stream. Anyway, Stolen Moments.
That could have been embarrassing. A South American love romance. As opposed to a South American what exactly?
You know, the hate romance.
You know, there's another term for that.
Yeah. Kinky.
Listen, we do not kink shame on this channel.
We don't kink shame, no. Stolen moments, like precious moments, but with less shattering.
Something like that. Oh, a noted author of films in English.
In English, you say?
Yes. Yes, I do. Well, I will say that this film, unfortunately, has received the same treatment as some of the other films in which Valentino starred early in his career.
Uh-oh.
This film, and another that I was looking at just last night, called a Society Sensation from 1918, were both re-released after Valentino became a star. Like A Society Sensation, the main female character in this film is actually meant to be the star. Between the film from 1918 and this one, which was re-released in 1924, there was a re-edit of the film so that it would put Valentino in the starring role as opposed to the women for whom these were actually vehicles.
Of course.
And Unfortunately, what that means is, like, for example, with this film, you only have 2 out of 5 reels.
Jeez.
Which means you're missing over half of the movie. Same thing with the aforementioned A Society Sensation. Yeah. Valentino was considered that hot of a commodity. And I do mean what I say as far as commodity.
I mean...
Because, if anything, he is absolutely a creation of not only Hollywood, but also of, well, frankly, women's desire. And I'll talk more about that when we get into The Sheik.
Fair.
We don't usually see Valentino as a villain, but in this film, he is absolutely a cad. He's leading this nice girl on.
This nice yet naive young lady.
You know, the fact that he had a headshot that was just right there, you know, he already had it ready with the poem written on the back and everything. He's a little too prepared, if you know what I mean.
Hey, you know, he's just always ready for love, you know?
Yeah, usually that necessitates a slightly different type of preparation, but, you know, if that's what works, that's what works.
Yeah.
Okay, so love speeds the hours, and a new day comes. Now, earlier he was listed as playing a Brazilian character. Well, as it turns out, Rudolph Valentino was an Italian immigrant. And, okay, born in 1895, dies at age 31 in 1926. And at this point, this is just right on the cusp of his first major starring role. 1921's The Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Ooh, that one sounds exciting.
You know, I tried to watch it once on Turner Classic Movies, and I don't know if I just wasn't paying close enough attention or just what was going on, but it seemed like it just lost me a little bit. So
gotcha.
I'll have to give it another try.
I mean, yeah, it could have been anything.
Yours till death. Oh boy. Vera, are you okay?
That's, you know...
Because I'm getting the distinct impression Vera is not okay. I have distressing news for you. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought he was about to tell her that someone took scissors to her hat.
No, it's so much worse than that.
Yeah. Clearly.
I'm also kind of getting the, oh, this is all so sudden kind of a vibe.
Just a bit.
Okay, I gotta know. Oh, Vera has refused me, Mother. Uh-oh.
That's okay, we'll get that young lady for you. If it's the last thing we do.
Okay, honestly, we'll get that young lady for you. Just makes it sound like there's a meat market And he's going to walk in and say, I want that one. Oh, wait, 1920s. Kinda. Oof.
What was that about her arranged marriage?
You know, I looked down at just the wrong time. He seemed to stick something underneath a... He seemed to just hide something. So I'm curious about what that was.
Yeah, I looked down at the wrong time, too.
I brought my mother's wedding ring. It will be so romantic to be married with it. Oh, oh. Don't bother, little girl. We'll have no use for it. Ours is a union of souls.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not going to marry you.
No, she's the sacrifice.
Okay. Now I'm kind of wishing for Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, because it just seems like that would be a good musical piece here.
I'm expecting the cultists to jump in through the walls any second now.
Okay, buddy, she's not up for that kind of a wrestling match, clearly.
Yeah. He has seriously misread the room.
I'm sorry, what is it you say so frequently? Boundaries? Did he
So
just
frequently
basically give her the salute of "see ya"?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
He's really giving some serious serial killer vibes.
Uh-oh. His favorite pastime. Ah, seducing women. Gotcha.
If you call that seducing.
Well, it seems to be working because he's walking arm in arm with the daughter of government officials.
Fair enough.
Hi.
You know, I'm just gonna chalk it up to plot convenience.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. You might actually have to marry this one.
Yeah.
I like that they're still introducing new characters at this point. As in, not only new characters, but also, hey, here's their title card.
You got a good point there.
I mean, it seems like it's really late in the game to be not only introducing new characters into the plot, but also introducing them the way they are. Yeah. As in, hey, here's the actor's name. Uh-oh. I'm kind of getting the sense that Bro is not impressed with Writer Dude.
Yeah, well, what? I was going to say what politician likes the press, but the politicians love the press.
Well, also,
this
isn't a matter of politicians.
Yeah.
No, it was her brother saying, hey, not a big fan of this business.
Wait. Oh, so the guy who walked up was her brother?
Yeah, the guy who was shaking the hand of our villain here.
Well,
he's going to be a matcher.
Doesn't like the press very much right now. Yeah, that's fair.
No, he doesn't. Oh! Uh-oh.
Turtle Man has every
Whoa.
right not to.
Brother springs into action.
Oh, yeah.
No, Kat, it's not mean, really. It's unfortunate, but it's not wrong. Okay, and... Oh, for a hot second I thought that Brother kicked villain guy, like, in the ribs or the face or something. Oh!
Well, that was definitely a rib shot. Brother has a broken rib or two, probably.
Okay, he checked to see if he was still alive.
Yeah, I mean...
Kind of gave him a little bit of a shake and said, oh, okay, you're breathing, that's fine.
Yeah, well, maybe just bruised.
Uh-oh.
I really must be going.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, exactly. No, that was totally the vibe I was getting.
Hmm.
Oh.
What's this, novel you're, speaking of?
On criminal law. Why don't you just check your own diaries, my dude?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh. Okay, so we've got... Uh-oh.
Oh, she's familiar.
Oh, apparently she doesn't know him yet.
I see.
Oh, no. Maybe she does. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought she was introduced to Writer Dude, and that it was not the case.
I don't know. The plot of this film has all been a little bit hard to follow.
Uh-oh. Well, the reason that it's been a little hard to follow is because over half of the film is missing.
Yeah. So, you know, that'll happen.
I'm guessing audiences of 1924 didn't complain too much because there was such a need for content about Rudolph Valentino or content featuring him that folks are just like, we'll take anything. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. It reminds me of some other things I've seen on the internet that I will not bring up due to their adult nature. You'd be shocked what you can find with a little bit of digging.
Probably not that shocked, frankly.
Yeah. Good question.
Oh, is he trying to make her feel bad?
I mean, he does seem like the abusive boyfriend type.
Yeah.
He has already demonstrated abusive relationship behavior.
Gotta look at it and go, well, he thinks he's got her over a barrel because she inscribed that book to him all that time ago.
Yeah.
But newsflash.
Yeah. I don't see things going well for him. Or at least I hope
No.
things don't go well for him. Wow, look.
Chickens!
A child
I can
in...
fit so many of them in my pockets! Oh, it's puppies.
It's
Oh, that's
puppies.
almost worse. I can't resist the temptation to be near you.
Yep.
Hey, fella, how about you try?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a good
How
idea? Try.
Boundaries.
Okay, that place is crawling with puppies. It's so weird.
Yeah. My big question is, where did this child come from, and how did she get these puppies?
Well,
it's
I
just...
can answer the first one. You see, when a main female character and a subordinate male character get together, sometimes children are the result.
On occasion, yes.
Yes. As far as all of the puppies, I don't know.
Well, when a male dog and a female dog love each other very much.
Or just have an itch they have to scratch and it
Yes.
flees. All right. It is deeply uncommon to see Valentino playing this kind of a role. Most of the time, you're just like, oh, he's the great hero, the Latin lover. When a male Bond and a female villain. Thank you,
Nice.
Captain. Do you think the theme of your latest novel is quite true to life?
I see. These are all men of culture.
Oh no. Oh, snap. An absolute tool.
Yeah.
Alex, I don't know if you're aware, but I can hear Murray on the other end.
There's not anything I can do.
Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. We're aware it was going to happen. Tool, you mean
My novel will
socialite.
the girl.
Yeah. A man of culture, if you will.
Ugh. You know how you can tell he's a villain? It's
The
the
grease
mustache.
back hair? Oh, fair enough. I don't know, on occasion the mustache is not the bad part. It does not, in and of itself, indicate the bad guy. I think it's the combination of the two.
Oh.
Ooh, she's mad.
Honestly, that's just nature's pocket.
Hmm.
The way she just crammed that down the front of her shirt.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, when these films were re-edited to focus things on Valentino, they destroyed the originals.
Yeah.
So films like this only become available in their truncated forms. And it's really a loss.
Yeah.
Okay, dude just grabbed a knife off the wall to stab him.
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
He, as previously pointed out, this man does seem to be the bad guy.
Yes.
I was expecting him to pull, like, a lever. I wasn't expecting him to pull out a book. I was expecting some real Phantom of the Opera stuff.
No, that's where he's been keeping the blackmail material. He showed it to her, and then he put it back. There is but one way. But this is not the way.
This is not the way. No,
okay. Yeah, seriously, lady, I'd
come back
run
later.
For it too. Holy.
Oh, never mind. You win.
Scratch him down the face? God, I hope so.
No, I think to just
straight up. It's worse than that. She stabbed him.
Yeah, straight up chop to the neck. He did.
Hope she gets. Oh, she forgot the book. Oh, dang it.
Why grab the book? That's even more incriminating.
It's been ventilated. Makes sense to me.
I mean, what's he doing with it at this point?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Oh, hey! Body count. Yay!
Yeah. We gotta keep it up to date.
Yes, we do. For those of you who are just joining us, possibly for the first time, the reason that the films are silent but the hosts are not is because, unfortunately, although most silent film at this point is in the public domain, quite often the soundtracks with which they are packaged for contemporary release are still under copyright.
Yeah.
And so, given that we really don't want to attract the attention of either the Twitch folks or the YouTube folks when these things go up for secondary broadcast, gotta be careful. So that is, in fact, how we deal with it.
Oh, 100%.
And yes.
Yes, it is murder. That doesn't mean that people can't celebrate this scumbag's death.
Convinced it was a woman based on the scratches on his face, and there is something in this house she wants. Okay.
Okay.
What? He was murdered by a woman? I am shocked, I tell you.
Yeah. Only,
a blood and a hip. Sweetie, clean up after yourself.
Only a one-eye, one-horned, flying purple people eater could do a murder like that. Clearly.
Clearly. Oh my goodness. Women always leave clues. Wow.
Wow. That's...
Okay. Oh, please tell me she's not going to have some kind of an outbreak of moral panic and she's going to off herself.
I sure hope not.
I feel like
I
there
understand.
should be more.
Understandable panic, quite frankly.
Yeah. Oof. Tent stake through his head. You know, that really would be something.
Get the two ready. Fair enough. Oh, I forgot to turn off
Then came
ads.
opportunity.
I'm sorry, I need a few seconds.
What happened?
I forgot to turn off ads.
Ow. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go fix that real quick.
Okay.
It's fine. We're
good?
all good. I may not get there in time to actually... I'm
To the guy who
sorry.
invented zero, thanks for nothing.
To the guy who invented zero, thanks for nothing.
Yeah. Okay, I have toggled the button.
It's caught, Brown says as they say fish.
Yes. Fish. Okay, and sorry for the brief interruption in our show. We will be right back with the conclusion of A Stolen Moment, starring Rudolph Valentino.
I just
Although,
want to make sure it's not
like I
actually
said-
running, because it doesn't say it is. Here.
Okay. Oh, by the way, he was also originally credited as Rudolph Valentine in this. Took him a while to settle on a name.
Yeah?
This film was originally meant to be a star vehicle for Marguerite Namera.
Mm-hmm.
She was an opera singer, and she was trying to break into movies, and, well, this was a good way to do it.
Fair enough. Opera singer going for silent film. Odd choice.
Listen,
Oh, whoops.
theater is theater, honey.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. And
I think we're good to keep going, honestly.
yes,
Doesn't
I think
look
you're right.
like...
I'm just waiting for the body count.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not actively advocating for murder, but
Mhm.
I'm not in this instance.
I mean, yeah. The guy was kind of a dick, but still a human being.
Kind of. Seemed to be the only thing he could think with was said appendage.
Yeah, well, you know. Time for me to head home.
Hey,
Understandable.
good to see you, Angel.
Get home safe.
Be safe. Okay, so now she's going for the book. Okay. Tuck it in your coat. Come on. Is that her husband?
I think it's her brother.
Uh-oh. No. Wait, is it? I'm sorry, I feel like this movie needs a flowchart.
Yeah, it does.
And this is what happens
Ah,
when...
hello, it. Or is it Thing?
Ah,
No,
Thing.
it's totally it.
It's Thing.
It's Thing? It's Thing.
It is Thing. It is the clown that hangs out in the sewers.
Ah. My mistake.
Now, unless you meant Cousin It, That's a slightly different situation.
True. I was generally thinking Adam's family. So.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we never see Cousin It with hands.
True. I mean...
He is a walking, well-groomed hairball.
He really is. Good for him.
So dapper with that hat. Oh, that's the husband.
Ah. Yeah. That tracks.
It's like everybody just needs like a name tag or something that line.
Nah, it's fine. We figured it out.
These people are all just ever so casually roaming around this house.
Right through the crime scene to boot.
I mean, I'm not saying that forensics were great in the 1920s, but, you know, it would still be, I guess, helpful if people weren't just trampling through.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. They just turned on the lights. Okay.
Yeah.
Back tonight for my sister's letters. Oh! Sister. Okay, caught up now.
Yep, there we go.
The guy just sowed trouble everywhere he went. Okay, I am so getting the sense of unreliable narrator here.
Yeah, he is 100% lying to these people. He is 100% lying to the cops right now.
That's the end.
Solid.
Hey, I had not seen that before, and frankly, I'm glad I can now check that off of the list I didn't know I had.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
I will say that the next one is far more coherent for all of the reasons. Like, for example, we have the whole film. It's based on a... it's actually based on a novel of the same name. I mean, you've got it right there.
Yeah, it's
from the novel by Peter M. Hull. It is a Paramount picture. And this was passed by the National Board of Review. What that means is the big censorship organization that was outside of, or excuse me, that was in New York. And for a time was briefly working out of Thomas Edison's studio. Alrighty. Well, I hope everybody buckles up for this one because it is about an hour and a half of what women of the 1920s might want. Okay, Chad, I'm curious. What brought on that? Oh.
Yeah.
You seem excited?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The happy ignorance that civilization has passed them by. This film brought to you by colonialism and imperialism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice long movie tonight. Maidens chosen for the marriage market. Okay, so just in case y'all missed this, the supposition here is that the people who are being presented are Muslim. Not Christian. And imperialism has long had a major religious component. If you don't believe me, take a look at the Crusades.
I mean, this is all feeling very stereotypy.
It should. It is.
It totally is.
Well, by the 1920s, that was fairly common. Okay, we've got an introduction to Valentino. Hey there, buddy. How's it going? So, during the 1920s, there were at least 87 American films that had major or minor inclusion of what were referred to as Arab elements, be it a setting, a theme, a character, and across the board, this engaged in what was known as Orientalism. Now, I realize when I say the word Oriental, it probably sounds like a stereotype left over from the 1980s. But in fact, what that was indicating was the opposite of the West. The West was referred to as Occidental, and the East was referred to as Oriental. So by presenting it in that fashion, it ends up creating a binary system, just right off the bat.
It's us and them.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Additionally, when we talk about Orientalism on screen, what that essentially does is it collapses a variety of different cultures all into one. So you have elements of Arab cultures, Persian cultures, Chinese cultures, Indian cultures that are all just collapsed into one monolith that says, yep, that's all from the East. Additionally, referring to Biskra the Beautiful, you notice they did not call it Biskra the Handsome.
I missed that, actually.
Yeah. As it turns out, land can be put into binaries too.
Of course.
Gender binaries specifically.
Yeah, France is feminine.
Speaking of females and women, I think we are being introduced to the main character.
Wow.
Okay, first off, they're starting out with some gossip about her, which should tell you something. Okay, so first off, she's going on a tour of the East by herself, which in the 1920s was not done. Respectable ladies of a certain age had some kind of a chaperone. Okay, orphan daughter, English peer, so she's I guess so, Fiendy.
It's always a good idea to have a buddy system, you know?
Yes, buddy system, I get. But speaking as a woman who frequently has traveled by herself, like globally, there are times you just need to get moving. And sometimes having other people around, well, companionship is one thing. Freedom of movement, that's something else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so that fella's our guide. Cool.
Sweet.
So she's not entirely going by herself. She has a guide. I have a good mind to make you give up this insane trip.
Yeah, well,
Oh, please. Oh, good. I've made up my mind, dear brother.
Yeah.
Okay, love that emphasis.
I mean, it is her choice.
Which is not something that you usually get pointed out in a movie from 1921.
Yeah. Like, it is heavily being emphasized. I love it.
It is. And part of that is because of the 1919 book on which it is based. Okay, is there a pinata I don't know about?
Yeah, they brought their pinata sticks. I mean,
That's why I'm asking.
yeah.
Because those there look like whacking sticks.
Someone definitely just went to the hardware store, got some wooden rods and put tape around them.
Well, if you're going to have a dowel, you might as well ensure it's fancy.
True.
All right, everybody's just like, woo, we are going on a trip. Oh, wait, no. Maybe we're going on a trip.
They do be lacking their favorite rocket ship, though.
Wow. Marriage is captivity, the end of independence. I am content with my life as it is.
Hey, fair enough. All power to you.
Hot damn, 1921. Nice for you to show up. Now, please note that just because she's got that streak of independence does not necessarily mean she's not going to have some challenges. Because she is. But
I mean, yeah,
the
with independence
1920s
comes challenge.
Yeah. The 1920s was a time of some social revolution.
Mhm.
Part of it is because following World War I, you got folks who are looking around and realizing that the world as they knew it is essentially gone. So what that means is that there were new opportunities that were opening up. Now, one of the reasons that this character even has that opportunity is because she comes from money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, she's an orphan, but she has pedigree.
Oh, yeah. No, she
And
is...
with that,
She's wealthy. Just straight up.
yeah. And because of that, with wealth comes freedom of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in case you have missed it, apparently she's not allowed in that casino. And the guy who's just like, no, you're not welcome here. He's Arab, but he was educated in Paris. So there's a little bit of blending of what is usually considered to be a binary of European versus not European.
I mean... Yeah. You're pretty...
Okay, that idea...
You're pretty much bound to run into it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying.
Well,
The
the
whole-
other aspect of that is the... Oh, yeah, so she was going to be touring the East, the entire East.
Yep. All of it.
That's what Jen was asking.
I'm sorry. You were saying.
All right. I lost my train of thought. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Believe me, I have... No, honey, it's fine. I have plenty more to say. Don't you even worry.
Fair.
I got notes.
Mm.
By the 1920s, most movie audiences were going to be familiar with one of a few different types of presentations of the world of the East.
Mm-hmm.
There was the pseudo-Egyptian craze. So it was referred to as Egyptomania, wherein you have a whole bunch of folks who are being somewhat spurred on by the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb.
Mm-hmm.
We see these kind of elements showing up in architecture, in fashion, in home design, in all manner of things. We also see it showing up in other forms of media. So music, specifically sheet music. There was a popular song called The Sheik of Araby, which ends up being used as cultural shorthand in Warner Brothers cartoons in the 30s and 40s.
Makes sense. I mean, sheet music was a form of cultural communication.
That's actually a great way to put it. Additionally, by the middle of the 1920s, you have a couple of other things going when it comes to media. First, you have records, or things for phonograph.
Right.
Additionally, you also have national radio broadcasts that start, I want to say 1926.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check that. And as far as that goes, the first national radio network was NBC.
NBC, National Broadcast Company, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that track.
And it was 1926. I was right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the order of operations as far as the development of national radio networks went NBC in 1926, CBS, it's either 27 or 29. Hang on. $1928. Oh, it was founded in 28. I believe they actually started broadcast in 1929.
Gotcha. So it took them a
Next
second.
up, yeah, you know. I mean, NBC did have something of an advantage.
Yeah.
Because of who owned them. AT&T originally owned NBC. And because AT&T already had a network established, although it was for telephones, not for radio, they were able to utilize that infrastructure and be able to start simultaneous broadcast in both New York and Boston.
Yeah.
From there,
of course,
it just went berserk.
I mean...
Go ahead.
If you can relay information already... How much more complicated is it to just throw a wireless transmitter on top of the wires?
Okay, Alex, you and I clearly need to have a conversation about the development of telephone and radio networks in the 1920s.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't think this minute is the way to do that.
No. Sorry,
but
back to the movie.
The
pale hands and golden hair of a white woman. Oh, indeed. She is European. Where is she from again?
England.
Whoa.
Oh, snap.
Do I need to get the body counter?
I don't think we need the body counter yet, but my God, she just pulled a weapon on him. And I think he's into it. Holy cow! I think he's into it.
Oh, he is totally into it. I mean, the balls.
I gotta say, totally impressed.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god, yes!
Yes.
So much. Oh, it has been a long time since I've seen this movie, and may I just say, oh, hell yes. Now, I will say that ultimately this movie does become Stockholm Syndrome, the movie.
Oh boy.
But I can hardly wait to tell you, first off, how this script came to be. And okay, wow, he is really into it. Okay.
I mean, you did say Stockholm Syndrome, the movie.
Yeah, I did. With the Arab under the lure of the defiant English girl. Well, yeah, strong women are apparently attractive. You know, that's the rumor.
Yeah. I agree, honestly.
Fiendy, you are just brilliant. I'm so glad you're here.
Kidnapping as a treat. Yeah.
Oh, God. Seriously, sweetie, you are a queen. I mean, I've been saying that for years anyway, but you know. Okay, this has strong mummy vibes.
Yeah, just a bit. It does help that they both take place in, quote, the East.
Wait. Does that make this guy Imhotep?
I do not believe so.
Oh, he snuck into her window. He's leering at her in her sleep.
Wait, isn't that the guy who actually switched sides and ended up working with the mummy? No. Benny.
Instead, he's just opening his mouth and testing her bullets. That sounds like slang for something that we really should not be talking about right now. So now that you've confirmed that her bullets may actually contain gunpowder, has this guy heard of doors?
Maybe he'll open his mouth and summon a swarm of scarabs. Perhaps.
I don't know. It just really seems to me like this would be a perfect time for some home security.
I mean, you know.
Oh, snap. He's singing.
Closing the window.
Yeah, that'd also be helpful. Okay. I have heard Rudolph Valentino's singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
It is not good.
Oof.
In addition to it not being good, he knew it wasn't good.
Oh, no. My son.
Reportedly, after hearing the playback of the song that he recorded, he said, well, there goes my opera career. So, dude had a sense of humor about it.
I mean, yeah. At least he had that. I love it.
He did. Alright, so a little bit of information on our leading man, and then I'll give you some background on our not only leading woman, but also about the source material for this. Alright, and by the way, this source material is coming from IMDb, as far as a brief biography. So he's born May 6th, 1895, in Castellaneta, Italy. He ends up immigrating to the United States. And before he is basically plucked out of the background and transformed into a star by theater impresario Marcus Lowe, he works as a gardener, a dancer.
You've roboted.
Not a price that somebody would pay you X amount for dancing together for the duration of a dance. So 3 to 5 minutes or however long the song actually is. So with that being said, Valentino developed a reputation as being something of a, and I'm quoting here, lounge lizard.
Yeah, and this sounds way more dirty already than it probably is because you roboted so hard there.
Lounge lizard.
Yeah, anyway, yes. Do continue.
So, eventually he makes his way into movies. See if I can hunt down his first film.
You're not steam cleaning the horses.
Oh, my goodness, no. Apparently, his first movie was 1914's The Battle of the Sexes.
The Battle of the Sexes? I love it.
The Battle of the Sexes. It strikes me as really fun.
It's a very good pun. Cat. Anyway.
I really worry about anybody that they might have just run the horses right over.
Battle of the Sexes.
He gets his start in 1914 as a background extra. He's a dancer in this film. And he ends up just, kind of hanging out, figuring out his stuff. So, evidently,
okay.
Wait. I still, you little fool. Oh, she got kidnapped. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. So basically her guide sold her out, so here she is. A bit stuck.
Whoops.
Apparently, another term for lounge lizard in this case is, and I'm quoting here, taxi dancer. Where you would dance with somebody in a cafe for however much per dance. I don't know. I kind of love the idea of taxi dancer. That is so evocative as an image. Okay, she's just like,
yeah,
screw you, man. And then she realizes that she might not have the power here. Not yet. a heads up, there does, in the book by E.M. Hull that was published in 1919, there is a non-consensual sex scene. And unfortunately, that was part of a lot of the romance novels that were being published around this time. Now, I realized that on the surface, it sounds like an absolutely terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the way in which it was being used, which was functionally a means of liberating a woman from the societal expectations or thought that this kind of an interaction would ruin her. That was, okay. This is the scene that kind of made me go, wait, what? While I was prepping, are you not woman enough to know? Oh, snap. Okay, stop leering. That's not helping.
He used leer. It seems to be very effective.
Leer. It's super effective.
You know... thanks, Pokemon, for just being a thing.
Okay.
Not my defense. I'll never recover.
I love that. I am not
Exactly.
accustomed to having my orders disobeyed, and I am not accustomed to obeying orders.
I see.
We'll learn.
That's what he says.
Huh. Okay, so far she's walking. Oh. All right. So seems to me like now is probably a good time to explain exactly how this movie was not necessarily about the male gaze, but rather about appealing to female audiences. Just a second.
50 Shades of Chic indeed, Captain.
Oh, God. Thanks, I just took psychic damage. Appreciate you.
I mean, when you write, you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, see that Mademoiselle is given every comfort and attend to her luggage at once. I'm not saying I'm getting Beauty and the Beast vibes, but I'm not saying that.
I mean, you say that, but there's a distinct lack of furries.
There's also a distinct lack of dancing furniture, so
True.
I think we can just call it a draw.
You got me there.
Kidnapping and actually, I'm actually glad you brought that up, Fiendy, because this film, and specifically Rudolph Valentino, actually led to something of, say, a crisis of masculinity. And it's partly because Valentino complicated the gender binary. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and talk about what kind of a movie this is. Oh, Jen, you've no idea.
Oh,
I have a list. So good. All right. So in the night, according to Karen Chow, who is a professor of film, there was a growing leisure market that catered specifically to women's desire in the 1920s. And she goes so far as to say that Rudolph Valentino, the screen idol, was a woman-made man. In the 1920s, there was a growing acceptance of the idea that women might actually want to enjoy sex.
A novel concept, I know. Hear us out.
Well, it was kind of difficult because doctors were totally unhelpful if you needed information. Families were usually too embarrassed. Okay, he is trying to get her out of that sandstorm, so I applaud that part.
Yeah. Hey, ma'am,
okay, you
unsafe.
need to zip the door shut. You know, just zip them shut. Otherwise, you're going to find sand everywhere, and it's coarse. It's just
they're
so good.
already in the desert. It's already in the tent. I don't think there's much they can do about that.
Well, as long as she's able to keep it out of her toothbrush. So
ideal.
Oh, snap! She armed herself.
Of course.
Good job.
I mean, this is the same woman who walked into the casino with a gun.
That's true.
To meet this guy.
You are so pretty, and if I choose, I can make you love me. Yeah, honestly, Jen, he is totally into this. Yeah, okay. This is the non-con scene that I was concerned about. Oh, whoa. That was weird.
Master of the horses, they've broken loose. Up.
You forgot to roll up the windows on the horses.
Shit. Somebody dropped the ball.
I hate it when that happens.
Okay, I need a few seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and let the movie keep playing. I just need to get some water.
You do what you need to do, kiddo. Alright, so in the 1920s, we started having... You know what? You're going to have to steam clean the horses to get it all out. Just give them a big shake. So, as I was trying to say, sex actually becomes more of a focus, specifically for addressing women. As in, there were manuals produced. There were guides produced that focused on the sexual experience specifically with a woman in mind. We don't usually think of that happening in the 1920s. Yes, there was a small-scale sexual revolution. Okay, buddy, you're doing the leering thing again. It's just creepy. Oh.
Agreed. Rudolph Valentino seems to be playing a lot of creeps tonight.
Well, give him a second. Because he just realized he done fucked up here. Yes.
Wow.
So, with this... Oh, was that Herbie?
That was a Herbie. I was just responding to him.
Hello, boy. Makes sense to me?
Yeah.
So, with this, there's this growing awareness that women are actually sexual beings. Now, granted, that doesn't get very far. We usually think the sexual revolution is happening in the 1960s. So, 40 years later.
Mm-hmm.
But E.M. Hull's book provided a template for a male protagonist who evolves from the stereotypical need for conquest and domination into a feeling, self-aware man.
Ideal.
This is happening in a cultural moment where women are starting to be able to pursue their own interests and break away from some of the societal expectations of must have family, must have kids, like now.
Mm-hmm.
We see a marked increase in the number of working girls. So these are going to be lower class girls, usually not of tremendous means, but of some means.
Mm-hmm.
And these women are not only equipped now with disposable income, but they also have leisure time.
Oh, what a novel concept.
So what they are experiencing... Go ahead.
Oh, no.
What was that, Al?
What a novel concept. Continue.
So in other words, you have an entire generation of women that have not only economic freedom, but also more sexual freedom and acceptance of that freedom than had been known for years, if ever. As the 1920s wear on, film becomes increasingly conservative again. But in the years immediately following World War I, movies were a little riskier. And that's what we're seeing here with this one.
I mean, yeah, we just saw him jump 3 feet in the blink of an eye. I'd call that
when you're
pretty
Rudolph
risky.
Valentino, you can just move like that, I guess.
Fair.
The Chic was part of a genre of novel known as sex novels. These were considered to be lowbrow, written by women, for women, and desert love novels, like this one, are a genre in and of themselves. And can I just tell you what a panic this brought about? So, on the one hand, you have, as Miriam Hansen points out, you have, for the first time in film history, women spectators being perceived as a socially and economically significant group. That female spectatorship is being recognized as a mass phenomenon, and that films were explicitly addressed to the female spectator, regardless of the actual composition of the audience. The thing about it is that movies started out as working class entertainment. It wasn't until the middle class discovered movies that things just absolutely slid downhill as far as censorship efforts and a whole lot of push to control what was on the screen.
I mean, yeah, we can't have our kids seeing smut.
Oh, clearly not. In 1927, the Daily Express in England, and this is quoting from Karen Chow again, printed a particularly vicious editorial from the puritanical James Douglas that attacked sex novels, sex novelists, and sex films alike.
I see.
In this editorial, Douglas used language that was much more offensive than anything to be found in the texts that he so denounced. And I quote, mimes, cads, bounders, sniggerers, innuendoists, pornocrats, garbage mongers, purveyors of pruriency, vendors of vice, sewer rats, carrion crows, maggots of decadence, hookworms of salacity, literary lepers, and yahoos. You are one of the 10 plagues. Oh, I'm not done yet.
Oh, no.
You are one of the 10 plagues let loose upon us by the war. You have turned marriage into a mockery. You have glorified lust and lechery. You have made the world safe for pornocracy.
I see.
Sex novels, sex plays, and sex films are a marketable commodity. Not long ago, I retched over a novel by a female procuress which explored abysmal horrors that hitherto have been the monopoly of psychoanalysis.
Yeah, I know, right, Phoebe?
Sweet girl graduates, read it and discuss its esoteric abnormalities and fetid mysteries.
No.
This is 1927, everybody.
1927. Not modern day hate church sermon. Promise.
You see, according to Karen Chow here, the corruption of sweet girl graduates was particularly worrisome. At a time when Victorian beliefs in the incompatibility of intellect and motherhood were still in circulation, even though Victoria had kicked off, like 1910 or so. Girl graduates were not only... Well, let me finish here. Girl graduates were not only failing their reproductive duties to the country, but upholding a degenerate female pornocracy. They were threatened by the fact that women were active in producing and buying materials that were considered autoerotic and which affirmed their sexual drives.
Amazing.
Even more galling, the desert love genre portrayed the male ethnic other as intrinsically sexier than men at home. Get President Long John Silver.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt with that.
No. You are fine. Movies allowed for excitement without cost to your moral sensibilities.
I see. Wild things to say about film. Even today.
Hi, Taylor Swift. Glad to see you're here. You did say, I'm the problem, it's me. And it's horse time. Cute hat, though. I like that.
She's had a lot... We've seen a lot of good headwear in these films. Just generally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, for all that this book was incredibly steamy, and honestly, it makes me want to go find it and read it, although I'm also slightly afraid. For all that it has it's a very steamy book, the ending is apparently a little conventional, and I won't spoil it. I'll let you make your own determinations. But this was really the movie that helped to make up that cult of Valentino. So, in addition to being a taxi dancer, which will just not stop being funny.
It's a wild
I'm actually
term.
writing that down. I love it so much.
I believe you did.
Oh, he's getting called out by his friend. Good. It's like, well, shit. I've been caught. I must admit myself. Okay, gross. All right, so part of what made Valentino so attractive was not only the fact that he had what were considered to be exotic looks. I mean, he was an Italian immigrant. But his public interviews and his public persona really just, I'm just going to put it in a term, they were hot because, frankly, self-awareness. Okay, horse, why did you do that?
Listen,
Bad
the horse was just feeling
bad.
like a dick today.
Apparently so. All right, so
We gotta put our damsel in distress. Of course.
She's about to be. So
What was that about
Valentino,
her facing challenges sometime in this movie? Seems like she's facing challenges.
actually, it looked to me like she was facing sand at that moment, but yes, also that.
True.
So Valentino openly talked about the importance of women's pleasure in interviews and the fact that, as far as he was concerned, men needed to not only be aware of it, but to also address it.
Yeah.
This is the 1920s, y'all.
I mean, it's like... I know that we figured it out for the most part at this point, that everybody is just people.
Yeah.
Grammatically, that sounds awful, but we're all just people.
Drink some water.
Thank you. Good
Thanks.
call.
I'm also going to take that reminder to hydrate there. So, in addition to that, he was not the conventional masculine ideal. And given that there was considered to be a crisis of masculinity following World War I, that was a problem because he was a very public, very well-loved figure. And there were a lot of men who were very comfortable publicly saying, oh, well, he's a problem. He's not masculine enough. Apparently there was an editorial in the Chicago Tribune that essentially referred to Valentino as a powder puff, at which point Valentino responded with, you want to find out how much of a powder puff I am? I challenge you to a boxing match.
There you go.
To the best of my knowledge, he went through with it. All right, so well, he sold beauty products for both men and women. As far as he was concerned, everybody had the right to feel attractive in their own skin.
Yeah, everybody should be able to feel pretty.
Exactly.
I completely agree.
So this movie actually helped to give us this movie actually helped to give us one of the enduring 1920s film stereotypes, the chic. In addition to other stereotypes like the flapper or the vamp, this would have precisely.
Yeah.
This really did help to set that standard. We still use the chic as shorthand for a man with sex appeal. These men were usually perceived as European or exotic. Valentino wasn't the only one who had the Latin lover name attached. Another guy by the name of Ramon Navarro, who we have also seen here on Silent Film Fridays, was also described as a Latin lover. So it's usually somebody who's going to be what we would consider to be potentially darker complected, or and usually dark hair. The last time we saw Ramon Navarro was in the Clara Bow film It. He wasn't Monty the comic relief. Mm-hmm. He was the object of Betty Lou's attentions.
Right.
The fact is, Valentino became a figure of spectacle and the object of the female gaze, where a lot of media usually places men in the driver's seat and women are presented as objects, not even usually presented on screen as an entire human. Just, there's an arm or a leg or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This flipped it.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we're getting... Is she?
Yeah, maybe. Apparently, there was a term coined for the type of gender presentation that seemed to be developing in the wake of the Rudolph Valentinos of the world. The term is flapper rooster. And it came about because of the blurred boundaries between increasing effeminacy of men
mm-hmm.
and increasing masculinization of women. I actually have it in my notes here as new gender dropped.
Yeah.
The flapper rooster.
It's cool, guys.
I'm so happy about it.
Your story is wonderful, but is it real? What?
Oh, this is a European friend of our guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was a major gender panic, and I have to say that the more I find out about Valentino's career and about the people who were working to shape his image, the more I want to learn. One of the things I learned tonight from Thomas J. Slater
mm-hmm.
was that a woman by the name of June Mathis was responsible for the scripts of 5 of Valentino's films from 1921 to 1922. And while she wasn't responsible for the script for The Sheik, she was responsible for the film that was his first starring vehicle, The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Oh, so he's just saying they're unfortunately beautiful women provoke in some men all that is base in their characters? I'm sorry, are you going with the boys will be boys?
He is totally going with the boys will be boys argument.
And a woman pays for the beauty God has given her. Honestly, this film unfortunately still fits.
We are still having this discussion to this day. Oh yeah, boy.
It's not Barbenheimer, but it's surprisingly self-aware.
Yeah.
Probably because it was written from a woman's point of view.
Yeah.
So So in addition to the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, she also wrote the script for Camille, The Conquering Power, Blood and Sand, and The Young Raja.
Yeah. Like...
Oh, wow.
Dude, people are responsible for their own actions, period.
They should be, yes.
Keyword there being actions.
Excuse me.
The way you look is not an action.
No. Now, as far as June Mathis was concerned, the best way to address the crisis of masculinity was to point out that masculine identities that were based on violence and greed were destructive, and there needed to be an alternative.
Inherently so.
In Mathis's work, strong women were endowed with courage and values that were needed to help reconstruct masculinity in a more positive fashion. And that's what she wrote.
Yeah.
So, The Sheik proved so popular that 5 years later, there was a sequel released called The Son of the Sheik. Unfortunately, 1926 was also the year that Valentino died from a ruptured ulcer and peritonitis. He was 31 years old. And I'm not sure if this is factual or if it's apocrypha, but it seems that I remember that Harry Houdini had something to do with his death.
Really?
No. I'm wrong.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, this man's having a rough day.
Oh, he's having a very difficult day. No, Valentino died because he had that rupture. Houdini died because he got punched in the stomach before he had actually tensed his abs. That's what killed him. Yeah. Okay.
Man, Houdini's death really is a reminder of how squishy humans are.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is it raining outside? No, okay.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I thought it was raining for a second.
Oh. They're always in this neighborhood? Oh, hey, he gave her gun back. That's nice.
Excellent.
All right. So apparently, prior to his death, Valentino had been ill for several months. And again, this is coming from IMDb. He had been ill for several months, but he refused to see a doctor. In August 1926, his pain became so bad that a doctor was finally called, and he was transferred to a hospital. He had ulcers, which were operated on. And a few days after the surgery, his lungs filled with fluid, infection had set in, and that was that.
I mean, yeah, there's not much you can do. if the air pockets don't have air in them.
Yeah. Well, at the time of his death, he was making an annual salary of $1 million per year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing a quick search. No. 96. 19, 20. Okay. The converted amount was the equivalent of $17,237,796.
Holy cow! That's
which
big
sounds
number.
like quite a lot.
Yeah. And that was yearly?
Unfortunately, that was annually, yeah. Unfortunately, when he died, his estate was $3 million in debt. So there was no money to close up his affairs, pay off any last bills, or even to bury him. So fortunately, June Mathis came to the rescue one last time. While his funeral was held in New York, and by the way, the public viewing beforehand just went bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, deeply bonkers. The streets were packed.
America's sweetheart died at an early age.
Yeah. There's footage of the funeral in New York and the lines that were literally around the block over and over and over again. Okay, I want you to just pause there for a second. It's just how I have made her suffer. I feel terrible about this.
Yeah.
Why do I feel so bad? Oh, it's because you love her. Honestly, that's more character growth than you see in most things now.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's a huge amount of character growth.
Apparently, 80,000 mourners. Yeah. There were 80,000 mourners at his New York funeral.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Sorry. It's not you, I promise.
I mean, anything that approaches triple digits or surpasses it even. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of anything. Okay, it's not a lot of sand, but it's a lot of people.
That's a note that she's leaving in the sand.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'll find it.
I wouldn't.
Before it's all blown away.
Anything is possible.
Oh, he's setting her
It is Hollywood.
loose. That's true. All right. So as I was saying about June Mathis, when he died, June Mathis had purchased some cemetery space in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. She had a crypt. In fact, she had a row of crypts. And she offered to loan Valentino one of them. Well, rather, his remains, one of them.
Right.
However, when she died herself in 1927, so just the year after, Valentino ended up being moved into the crypt that was intended for Mathis's husband. in the 1930s, Mathis's husband sold the crypt in its entirety to the Valentino family.
I'm sorry.
So he's...
Hold on a second.
What happened?
She only brought one gun's worth of bullets.
She probably didn't think she was going to have to use it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's fair. Sorry, you were saying.
I'm just not seeing any blood there. I have been to his crypt. It was chained shut the day I went, but the door was cracked open just a little bit, and I was able to just say that I had peered inside Valentino's crypt.
That's a few more corpses than 2.
Oh yeah, the body count needs to go up. We're at 2.
Plus, a battle.
Yeah, with the battle, I don't know how many went down.
Yeah, I was not keeping...
Couldn't even guess.
I was not keeping that good track.
Oh, wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 on the... 6.
6? Just put war. Yeah, that's fair. War.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
There we go.
We have about 60% of Valentino's film output, which is actually a pretty impressive number.
Yeah.
It just makes me want to look at more of his films, honestly.
I mean, for the amount of silent film that's been preserved, yeah.
Yeah.
60% is huge.
One of the ways in which fans could express their support for... Oh, he did find it. There you go.
Ah, true
Letters
love.
in the same.
True love.
Is that what brings us together today?
Seems to be.
Okay.
Oh, he's totally alive just long enough to deliver a message. Monsieur, Madame... Oh my.
Okay. I am getting such Concord vibes from that.
Yeah?
Oh, sweet Concord, you shall not have died in vain. Actually, I'm feeling much better.
You should all not have been mortally wounded in vain.
Oh, no, I think I can get up and go with you. Oh.
That's a
So
nice
in
word.
addition... Yeah, it's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
In addition to The Son of the Sheik from 1926, there was a third film. It was called She's a Sheik. It's from 1927. And it starred Bebe Daniels. It was produced and distributed by Paramount. But unfortunately, it is lost.
Ooh.
Oh, excuse me. It was lost.
Recently found.
A 16mm print of the film was rediscovered in 2017 by Kevin Brownlow, who is actually tremendous. When, oh my god, what is with your face, my dude?
Yeah, that guy in the background was... Something was up with him. I can't quite put my finger on it.
I am not happy there. Yeah, that's a problem. So anyway, Kevin Brownlow has managed to find a whole bunch of films. And long may he continue doing so.
Whoa.
This is why movies like this, why people like Kevin Brownlow are so important.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're able to... They've got connections that allow them to tap into these archives that, honestly,
yeah,
it's amazing stuff. Oh, sorry. And it looks like we are about to have a battle.
Yeah, it looks... that War Plus one is... You know...
Is there a reason that... Did they forget to bring the Trojan Rabbit?
It is totally War Plus 2. I'll just leave that up so that I can easily edit it.
The thing to know about She's a Chic is that it was a comedy. And it literally just flipped the script.
Okay.
Apparently the story was perhaps a little lacking. But according to some of the folks over on Rotten Tomatoes, it's still worth seeing.
When was it released?
1927.
Perhaps we should give it a look sometime.
If I can find it, you bet. As far as I know, it has not yet been released on home media, but I can certainly hope. Okay, we need to talk about this particular situation.
So what's up? What's going on here?
Like I said earlier, she's being forced to change.
Gotcha.
It's a bunch of women who are trying to get that. Yeah. So one of the things that I absolutely want to address here is that as far as these things are concerned, as far as movies of this type are concerned, there was... There was a lot going on as far as not just imperialism at this time, but also cultural imperialism. This is the time period in which the geopolitical lines in the Middle East are being drawn by a bunch of European people who very clearly are not culturally sensitive enough to realize that what they are doing is simply going to be deeply disruptive.
Yeah.
So what we end up seeing when we have presentations like this... Oh, there's the jealous one. Hey, what a good idea. Okay. Women defending women. I love this. So the way that most of the relationship between East and West is is codified is through the West.
You shouldn't have gotten his attention first. Just saying.
I know, she just tapped him on the shoulder. It's not great.
Yeah.
Anyway, those relationships are usually defined by some kind of civilizing or colonizing mission, even if that's only ideological. And nothing works better than presenting people who are considered other as part of an us versus them binary. And unfortunately, that is what we tend to see. The Middle Eastern people who are depicted here, again, it's collapsing all of those different cultures all into one. So anything that could be considered fundamentally different is collapsed into that Oriental label.
Yeah,
these are the quintessential others. Go ahead.
Oh no, continue.
Well, the thing about this is that these characters are presented as both fascinating and frightening. And they are able to take actions that would be considered taboo in the West. Like the very idea of a white English woman falling in love with someone who is presented as Arab. That's one of those taboos.
Right.
However, the one thing that's abundantly clear is that Western media sure loves the East. The East is feminized. It's something that can be looked at as controlled or domesticated by Western forces. Now, one of the taboos that gets brought on here is the concept of miscegenation, which means you got two different races going. Yeah, they, A, should not have intimate contact of any sort, and B, to do so is, well, in a lot of parts of the United States, against the law, if not the entire country. I mean, the case of Virginia versus Loving, which would come along around mid-century, that was something that said, yeah, mixed-race marriages are okay.
Yeah.
That was not yet the vibe here.
Fair. There's a good amount of corruption going on here, and I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, sweetie.
Nope. There's nothing I can do about this.
Oh.
But
okay.
I do have to update the body count.
Yeah, you do. There's another one. Actually, there's two more in that room.
Yeah. He's dying. Yeah.
Alright, everybody. We are coming into the home stretch. Well, it's probably time to pull a Snow White, put him in some kind of a clear casket.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll be able to kiss him to wake him up or something.
Yeah, just freeze his body. It's fine. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I really have to wonder
just
what
like
some
that
of these
pile of
viewers
dead guys.
That sounds worse.
Well, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Right,
the desert's pretty good at that.
It's also really good at making jerky.
I'm sorry, say it again?
It's also really good at making jerky.
Okay. Oh, the sand. Right.
Yeah, mummies.
Sorry.
Yum yum, teriyaki style.
I was just gonna say, is it the original or teriyaki style?
Exactly. You know where I was headed.
Oh, I know exactly where you were headed.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the joys of this.
Mm.
He's just sleeping. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We're all good.
Nap time.
Hmm.
Oh, look, he's almost lifelike.
Wow, he actually seems like a human being.
Yeah.
Here, take a seat.
Just because he's
Yeah.
just because he's unconscious and, you know, not actively leering.
Yeah. He's
'Cause
not just
that-
actively looking in from just outside the tent.
You know, creeper's gonna creep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Al,
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love prepping for these
Yeah.
because I just end up learning so much.
Fair. I mean,
Oh,
ideal. What?
father was English, mother is Spanish.
Ah.
Wait, that makes him marriage material.
25 years ago, the old Sheik Ben Hassan oh, Dread Pirate Robert situation. Got it. Right? Am I interpreting that correctly?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Dread Pirate Robert
Say it again.
situation.
A little bit, but also because that now means, oh, hey, he's European,
Yeah.
not Arab.
Yeah.
That means that miscegenation is no longer a potential issue.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I know. Oh. Hmm. Uh-oh, he woke up. Does that mean that her life is now forfeit? That did seem to be the bargain that was being made.
Good night. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
You know, I don't usually think of this scene as a comedy, but what do I know?
Fair. Yeah, again, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about the other
I
person.
know. Hey, you're not so bad.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly, the way in which his character develops from toxic masculinity to actually being a reasonable human being, it's heartwarming.
yeah.
For as problematic as the character types in this film are, that's a story I can get behind.
Yeah.
I was a jerk. I realize this now.
Yeah, just do a little bit of
I will be
self-love
better.
and get better.
Precisely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that, my friends, is the Sheik. So for next week, maybe thinking it might be time to dip into a little bit of Soviet film.
Ooh.
And honestly, I'm thinking Battleship Potemkin.
Okay. I look forward to.
You want to learn? Go ahead.
I look forward to seeing what we got going on there, because this is new to me.
Oh, This is going to be all about
That.
Soviet montage and Sergei Eisenstein and how the film industry in the Soviet Union, with its collectivist ideals, managed to produce some films that were really something else. And I look forward to watching those with you next time. It's
Excellent.
not Soviet Winnie the Pooh, but I love Soviet Winnie the Pooh so much. All right, well, with that all being said, we've got our movie set for next week.
Absolutely.
And much as I hate to say it, I think it might be time to call it a night.
Yeah, yes, it is indeed. We got two options. Our good old Lord Swank, or we could send everybody over to the Gamer Mains, since they're still alive.
Your call.
Alright. I hope you all enjoy some Pikmin. It's Pikmin 4. Yeah. I haven't played this game before, but it looks fun, honestly.
I hope everybody has a wonderful night.
Yeah. Have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
All right.